Hello again for another Math Minute with Mr. Larson. Hope the day's treating you well, and hope this short video will make a little bit of sense. This video on adding and subtracting, adding and subtracting fractions. This is based on knowledge, assuming that you already have about fractions, what they are, what's a different size of fraction, what the number on the numerator and the denominator, the top and bottom of the fraction mean. It's based on all of that being understood. So if not, you can go back and look at those items, but assuming you've got that set, here we go. Adding and subtracting fractions. We used to have a process. Let's say we had something like 2/8 plus 1/4. And in the past, we did a process where we find a common denominator. You see that 8 will work for both of those, and that's 2/8. And then we just change this 4 into, let's see, I had the times by 2, so I multiply 1 by 2. In the past, we would get that, and then once we have the denominators the same, we can add those two. We keep the denominator the same, and we can add the numbers on the top to get 4/8. And then maybe even had gone the extra step of simplifying that fraction to find that out. But to add and subtract fractions, you have to have the same denominator. You can't put those together because it's like pieces of a pie, an eighth of a pie and an eighth of a pie. That's what we used to do. Well, now to add and subtract fractions, we're going a little higher order. We're going to estimate what an answer might be, and then we'll find the exact answer, but the way we'll find the exact answer is going to be different than this. So here we go, diving right in. Let's say I've got a number like 3/12 plus, 5/12. To estimate that answer, this 3/12, it's kind of close to about a half, right? You know, you might be thinking of a couple different numbers. I'm thinking of 1/2. If you're thinking, well, maybe 1/4, that's a higher order thinking. If you can get to a more cut up fraction, but smaller fraction, but I'm just going to use 1/2 for the first one. And then 5/12, that's kind of close to 1/2. So 1/2 plus 1/2, and just in my head, I know that a half and a half is 1. In estimating these answers, what we're trying to do is just come up with fractions we can easily work with. And by using fractions we can easily work with, we can just get an answer really quick of an estimate. To get an exact answer, here's how we're going to do it. We use the calculator. From this point on, we just use a calculator in adding fractions. So here we go. 3, the fraction button 12. And then I have to use the cursor button to get out of the fraction. Plus, and then the fraction button 5/12. Okay, then I hit enter, and what? 2/3, what's that all about? That looks nothing like this. Well, what the calculator did is they took the 12, you can keep the 12, add the 3 plus the 5, which is 8, and the calculator does it all in one step. 8/12 is the exact same thing as 2/3. So another one, what if I have, well, let's say 1/4 plus 1/8. Well, 1/4, that's kind of a small one, and this one's even smaller, and it's not a half. If I just kind of keep the 1/4, and this is kind of close maybe to 1/4, I might say. I might just want to use 1/4 again, because then I know easily that that's just 2 of the fourths. You're choosing 2 fractions that are easy to work with. And again, I'm working off the basis that you already understand fractions and know what fractions are. If it's hard getting a close fraction, as you work with fractions more in your life, you'll get more comfortable with them. Well, to find the exact answer, I just type in 1/4. Whoa. Type in 1/4. Come on, Larson. Plus 1/8. That answer gives me 3/8. Does that make sense? Is that actually correct? 3/8, that's really close to 2/4 because 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2. and 3/8. In fact, I'll even show you 3/8 when I write it as a different number is 0.375. And 1/2 as a different number is 0.5. So you can see that 0.5 and 0.35 pretty close together. 0.5 was my estimate, 0.375 was the actual, and you can see it's like 50 cents, like 37.5 cents, or basically the same. Thanks for staying with me as my lights went out because I'm not moving enough for the motion sensors. But let's do another estimate. Let's do 3/7 plus 2/9. It's getting to be a little harder here. What would you pick for estimates for these two? I'm going to turn on the lights while you think of a number. All right. For 3/7, I see that that's really close to 1/2. 3 is close to half of 7, so I know that's close to 1/2. And 2/9, boy, that's kind of small. It's not a half. If you want to use a half, you could, but maybe 1/4 because that's half of that, and maybe you'd even say that's just too close to 0. I don't even like that, so I'm just going to say 1/2 plus 0. So you could have answers of 1/2, 1/2, and 1/4 if you know that that's 1/2 is 2/4, that's 3/4, or like 75 cents. 1/2 and 1/2 is 1. So these estimates of 1 or 1/2 or right in between those are the estimates we could get. Let's see what's the exact answer. 3/7 plus 2/9. 41/63. What even is that? How does that compare to these numbers? 1 is 1.0, 3/4 is 0.75, 1/2 is 0.5. How close are my estimates? Well, let's hit this button and see how close we were. The actual answer is 0.65. And that 0.65 is right here. It's right in close in all of these. So all of those are good estimates. Estimate is not about getting it exact. It's just about getting it close. Okay, and you can do it with mixed numbers as well. 4 and 1/8 plus, let's do a minus 1. 4 and 1/8 minus 6 and 2/3. Trying to just pick numbers that are just totally out there. 4 and an 8. Well, that's, you might just want to go with 4. Minus 6 and 2/3. That's kind of even close to 7. You might even want to do that. Just take the fraction out altogether. 4 minus 7 is -3. Or if you say, no, I'll come close. You've got the number 4. Then you subtract 6. That's like 6.5. So 4, if you take off 6.5, you're all the way down to -2.5. So somewhere between -3 and -2.5. Let's see what the calculator likes. The mixed number button is above the 7 here. So I hit the second button in 7. 4 and 1/8 minus the mixed number 6 and 2/3. What do I get? -61/24. And again, to make sense of that, we learned about the math button. If you push math and then 1, it'll change it to a mixed number. -2 and 13/24. -2 and 13/4, that's about 2.5 right there. It's about right in there. So we know that our estimate was a good estimate. And as long as you pick numbers that are close to the original numbers, your estimate's going to be fine. But in order to reason mathematically, the idea is to be able to estimate, or at least come close. A lot of times in your life, you won't be doing actual math, you won't have a calculator, but as long as you're coming close, you'll be able to understand what life situation you're trying to. We're almost at 10 minutes. I don't want to reach 10 minutes, so thanks for watching. Have a great and wonderful day.